Dear friends, today I will share with you a course required for professional entrepreneurs: cycle control. One theory proposed by a famous economist is that life depends on cycles to make a fortune. The core point of this theory is that there is a cyclical operating pattern in the world economy. Usually there is a complete economic cycle every 10 years, from growth to recession, and then from recession to growth. Therefore, only by following the cycle can we achieve the accumulation of wealth in life. Going against this cycle, all efforts may be in vain. We can experience that during the positive economic cycle. Even if we lie at home every day and do nothing, the real estate we hold is constantly increasing in value. However, this is not the case in some countries, where real estate prices may continue to depreciate, such as Japan. In the past 20 years, in Japan's economic development, it is difficult to see a figure like Buffett, but at the same time, it is easier to produce Buffett during the sustained economic growth cycle in United States. Therefore, environment and time are important factors in enterprise development. Of course, when thinking about cycles, we must not only pay attention to the cycles of the global economy but also the cycles of the industries we are in. All industries have their own life cycles as well. The four-stage theory of the business cycle is a widely mentioned concept, including the stages of initiation, growth, maturity, and decline. However, based on our practical experience, industry cycles are not that simple. We have summarized the 7-stage cycle theory that entrepreneurs must understand and master. At different stages, the performance of the industry will be different, so the actions taken by professional entrepreneurs will also be different. Forward-looking entrepreneurs will not only take corresponding strategic actions during current cycle but also plan for the next cycle in advance and make corresponding preparations before its arrival. If entrepreneurs can correctly grasp the rhythm of the cycle, it will be easier to follow the trend. Just like a surfer who prepares in advance and sees the right moment to ride the next wave. If there is no wave or the surfer cannot catch the wave, he will not be able to complete the beautiful moves. Cycles can either make companies grow rapidly or cause them to decline quickly. Now, let us explore what these 7 stages are. In the first stage, which is the initial stage of the industry, the number of consumers is extremely limited. Entrepreneurs have imagined future needs, and based on this, they invest a lot of time and energy into product development or try to guide consumers because demand is in the stage of gradual brewing. This stage has only a few forward-looking entrepreneurs involved. The trend formed slowly, and we entered the second stage, the growth stage of the industry. It is gradually confirmed that the product meets the needs of consumers, and consumers begin to gradually accept this service or product. As the consumer population gradually expands, the market size is also gradually growing. It may be found that during this period, the market was severely undersupplied. This is because the growth rate of consumption exceeds the rate of supply. The participating bosses at this stage made a lot of profits, which in turn attracted more followers to join. They believe that this industry has huge demand and relatively insufficient supply, so they are heavily involved in it. With the increasing number of participants, the industry gradually entered a balanced state. The market is in a state of equilibrium between supply and demand. At this moment, we realize that the industry has entered the third stage, the maturity stage. At this stage, market demand is stable. Supply continues to grow due to inertia, and production capacity will soon become overcapacity, causing supply to exceed actual demand. Now there are many types and prices of products on the market, and customers have many choices. At this stage, it becomes increasingly difficult to expand customers, and the market competition is fierce. The market reaches saturation. As competition reaches its peak, all players will take actions to compete for the customers of others, include price reduction, providing longer account terms, reducing costs, and providing more differentiated services. When all means are used, loss-making companies slowly appear. At this time, the market has entered the fourth stage of loss and integration. This cycle is quite long, and almost all industries will go through this stage. It is difficult for everyone in the integration cycle. Companies that cannot survive choose to exit the market. As more and more companies exit, supply and demand are once again balanced. At this time, we enter the fifth stage of the cycle, self-repair. Now market demand remains unchanged, but manufacturing companies have eliminated 70%. Relying on their unique competitive advantages, these remaining companies have already locked in a group of mature customers and will gain market share from companies that have exited. They have more resources to upgrade products and improve their operational structure now. They are the final winners in the industry. The sixth cycle is the golden period. As supply and demand gradually reach a balance again, profits gradually recover. Only then does the market truly usher in the harvest period. Meanwhile, successful companies have already reached a considerable scale, and ordinary companies no longer dare to enter the industry again. Market demand is stable, competition is relatively low, and the winning companies' achievements are at their peak. The seventh cycle is top companies lead the development of the industry. At this time, the remaining companies are representatives of the industry. After being trained by competition, they have efficient management methods and organizational structures, possess the core competitiveness of the company, and have a large amount of cash on their books. They have acquired many excellent brands and have the ability to sustainably improve. They are representatives of the industry and promote the entire industry to a higher level of development. Therefore, we found that the industry is reincarnated. If we don't understand the reincarnation process, as an entrepreneur, it will be difficult to seize the biggest business opportunities and to take the appropriate actions at the right time. Next, we will specifically analyze the actions that companies should take during the initial stage and the growth stage of the industry. These are the stages when most companies enter the industry, and they are also the stages where various companies widen the gap. Successful companies achieve the greatest development in these stages. First of all, in the initial stage, many entrepreneurs tend to make a mistake. They think that they have discovered a unique new product that no one else has participated in. However, in the early stages of the market, there may not be many consumers either, and entrepreneurs like to educate and guide consumers to get used to consuming this product in order to increase sales. However, consumers' consumption habits are not educated but driven by consumption upgrades. If the product is not widely understood in the early stages, it is probably because consumers have not reached the state it should be in, rather than a problem with the product itself. Premature layout and investing a lot of advertising fees to lead consumption will not have a substantial effect. At this stage, consumption has not yet been stimulated, and we have enough time to correct mistakes, polish the product, debug, find the right service form, and research standardized delivery. Polish standard prototypes were prepared for market explosions. Before the market explosion cycle comes, we need to form a large-scale replicable template and model. If the industry reaches a period of explosive growth, but the company has not yet formed a mature business model, it will miss the greatest development period of the entire market. During this period, relying on this mature service form, we can contact many investors, talents, partners, and reserve corresponding strength. When the time comes, the biggest war can be launched. Therefore, professional racers need to prepare well in advance of the cycle. It's like a surfer waiting and paddling to the wave. In the industry growth cycle, for professional entrepreneurs, the first task is to do their best to expand company scale and occupy the maximum market. At the current stage, the speed of seizing the market determines the size and status of the company in the next cycle. The final size of an enterprise often depends on the speed of fission and expansion at this stage. Therefore, the primary task of entrepreneurs in this cycle is not to maximize profits but to maximize scale. At this time, all resources, including funds, should be invested in standardized and mature models to achieve the fastest fission. Only in this way can enterprises reach a qualified scale to compete in the next stage. At this stage, there is no essential difference between a product rated 80 points or 85. Because when the industry enters the maturity cycle and integration cycle, we have enough time to improve our products and adjust our management again. However, if the growth cycle is missed, it will never come again. So, a professional player needs to expand rapidly in the industry development cycle. We can observe that professional racers often have unique characteristics in their thinking. In fact, everything in nature follows laws, and the business market is no exception. We call on everyone to have cyclical thinking in the business market, deeply analyze the environmental characteristics of each period, and predict what may happen in the next cycle. Only in this way can we selectively take corresponding measures and actions to respond to market changes. Yes, these are the logics for using the 7 stages of the industrial cycle to guide company strategy layout. Please follow me to the next section.